Welcome back to the channel. A very important question. Should you sell your VRA tokens after a Coinbase and Binance listing? You're going to find out why this question is so important to get answered now rather than later. And for those of you that are wondering, why should I stick around? Why is that an important question? Because you'll understand if you look back, most tokens actually sell off after a coin is listed on a major exchange like a Binance or Coinbase. We saw this with Bonk. We saw this with Pepe. We saw this with Shiba Inu last cycle, right? We've seen this time and time again. There's a huge list of coins where we can go back, look time and time again, and we can see this happen. Now, of course, there are some coins that this doesn't happen to, and we'll explain why it doesn't happen and what are some of the things and scenarios we need to be aware of this cycle leading up to such a major exchange listing. Now, before we get into all of that, the first thing I want you all to do is make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, click the bell notification icon so you can stay up to date with all my recent videos. Remember, guys, nothing that you've seen in this video is financial advice. So always make sure to do your own independent research. And with that being said, pause the video, click the link in my description, and join the Telegram group so you can stay up to date with all my recent updates, news updates, technical updates, and much, much more. And remember, guys, it's completely free. It doesn't cost you a penny. So click the link below and join the Telegram group now. Have you done it? You haven't. So pause the video and do it right now. Done? Perfect. Let's continue with the video. Now, there's a few scenarios you want to be aware of, right? So let's first talk about the coins that typically don't sell off leading up to an exchange listing, and the scenario in which if this happens with VRA, we can feel comfortable that we are likely not going to see this massive sell-off that typically occurs. And again, if you go back, you'll see it time and time again. The most recent one was with Bonk token. As soon as that exchange listing, price rallied, but then sold off aggressively. Now, for VRA, as you know, this project is still extremely small. The market cap value is around 50 million last cycle. I think we saw it come close to $1 billion, but it didn't quite even hit $1 billion market cap as of yet, right? So this project has so much room to grow. Now, let's just use the last cycle, for example. Let's say we see price rally. VRA had a fantastic 2021. Now, let's just say an exchange listing happens or occurs towards the end of the cycle, right? So we see a move where price lists maybe right towards the end of the cycle. How do we know it's the end of the cycle? We can look at macro data. We can look at Bitcoin's price. We can look at so many different things, altcoins, etc., etc. Now, if that happens, typically it would be a good idea to maybe start taking some profits. And if you want, again, some people want to sell off all their tokens. That's up to them. Some people will sell off a percentage. Again, this is the more in-depth stuff. We're going to keep it surface level for now, but you can take some profits. Why? Because what could end up happening is after that exchange listing, similar to what happened to SHIB, we see price go all the way back down, and instead of walking away with, let's say, a 50x, you could walk away with maybe a 20x or a 15x, right? So these are the things you have to be aware of. Now, let's just say we're early on in the cycle, right? So an exchange listing happens, let's just say Q1 of this year, right? So we list on a Binance or Coinbase, right? And let's just say price goes up or price rallies leading up to this event. And then after this event, we maybe see a quick pump, and then we'll likely see a sell-off. Again, even if it is early in the cycle, this pattern is still likely to occur. But here's the difference. Because we're still early on in the cycle, the chances are price will pick up again and rally even harder. Keep a close eye on Bonk token because you could see what I'm talking about in real time, right? So, and of course, if the project does have real value, if the project is sought after, if the project is solid, then of course it should have no issue bouncing back, especially early on in a cycle, right? So those are the two things you want to be aware of to begin with. Number one, where are we in the cycle? Are we early? Are we late? Are we in the middle? What happens? If it's early, I mean, you could take profit if you want, but then you could end up walking away with a 20x instead of a 50x. If you sell towards the end of the cycle, then you could walk away with a 20x instead of a 50x. So the timing is very important. And this is something that you do have to be aware of. Now, despite me saying all of this, if we list on a Coinbase and a Binance early on, the sell-off that we could occur may not be as deep as some pullbacks are. So, for example, if we bring up Bonk token, for example, after the exchange listing on Binance and Coinbase, the pullback that we saw was around, here we go, well, at its lowest point, 73% from its top. And then, of course, it's now bounced back from that bottom, 48% at its peak, around 87%. So it actually gives you an opportunity to DCA and stock up on more, right? So it all depends on where we are in the cycle, and the likelihood is get ready to see Bonk explode and maybe head towards $4 to $5 billion market cap value, right? So it's all about where we are in the cycle. Now, some people will not sell regardless, right? So they may say to themselves, I don't care whether we're listed on Binance or Coinbase, I'm not going to sell anyway, right? Now, that's all well and good, but be prepared for price potentially not to go back to its all-time high. So for example, let's just say VRA ends up hitting $1 this year, purely based on all the scenarios that I've mentioned in previous videos, right? So great market condition, great exchange listings, narrative plays like AI, etc. All the dots connect, and let's say price hits $1. Let's just say that happens. Now, if you say to yourself, well, it doesn't matter, I'm not selling anyway, whatever, that's fine. But when price pulls back and maybe goes back down to 30 to 20 cents, it could take 2 to 3 years, maybe even longer, for price to go back up to $1 again. So you do have to keep this all in mind, right? So it's all good saying, I'm not going to take profit, I'm never going to sell. That's fine, as long as you're prepared to stomach some heavy drawdowns and prepared to wait years for the market to pull back up on. So this is a very important year, not only for VRA, but for the entire cryptocurrency market. And that's why it's important to maximize your percentage gains. And before we wrap up, right, for those of you that have made it this far in the video, I want to reveal something to all of you that's quite scary, right? Because this is from CoinGecko, right? So cryptocurrencies, over 50% have died since 2014. In 2021, we saw the peak of cryptocurrencies that were active, right? Over 5,724. In 2022, that went down to 3,520. And in 2023, we saw the number of cryptocurrencies that were active, 289, right? So it is, this isn't you have to be very, very careful. Some of the gains that we could be seeing are once in a lifetime gains. So it makes sense to make the most of it. If you choose not to, if you choose to procrastinate, then that's up to you. But well done for being early. Well done for watching these videos early. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't yet joined our Crypto Crew Premium channel, do that right this second. We gave out a 50x play, a narrative play on another cryptocurrency project. We have other products available. We also have a profit-taking strategy available for VRA. If you want to know what we're doing, our game plan, our strategy, and so much more, Crypto Crew Premium is where you need to be. The link is in the description, so join us now. Until the next update, seize the day.